what are my thoughts on today's political climate? You know what? I would say this. I think I'm in a position to where I'm playing catch up on some of the political stuff that's happening simply because, for the last close to 7 years, I've been politically active and either running a campaign, being a part of a campaign, or even being the candidate in a campaign. And so during that process, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to be super hyper involved because you are really drilling down and highlighting the deficiencies in certain areas, whether it be on a local election, regional, or how I ran for governor, or statewide um, campaign. But I see what's happening, here in our country, and I see the type of leadership that we have, and I see the lack of understanding you know from some of the people that are in positions to represent us, that elected officials, and that can be frustrating. And beyond that, it is frustrating, and that's why you have so much strife that's happening right now, across our entire country. And I'm hoping that this coming November, the country makes a sound decision that could put us on a trajectory to kind of right the ship, so to speak. But when it comes to California, man, it's an interesting mental space that I have to take myself to go back there, because there's a lot of realizations that came about for me on how I perceive just people, right, and voters, and it could be like one of those psychological triggers just when I hear voters and supporters and donors. It doesn't have the sweetest um, karmic feel that it once had. And it's simply because of you seeing, you get a chance to see the ugly side of it, so to speak. Um, Running my election, I met some of the most beautiful people. I want to emphasize that. I met some of the most beautiful people running when I was running for governor. Also, when I ran for mayor of Pasadena, I met some beautiful people. Still in contact with some of those people to this very day. Was just texting, tonight with some of them, and some of them like family now as well. But there is an overall sentiment to looking at the climate of social media, propaganda, clickbait, lies, slander, all those different things. And it just gave me a different look. But it also allowed me to look in the mirror, take accountability, and really dig deep to figure out ways on how I can better myself. Because at the end of the day, if someone doesn't like me, there's two ways that I naturally will look at it. One of them is I don't give a damn because I'm not doing anything in my life to please you. But in a political sphere, you're actually campaigning to gain the support of the actual people. And the people typically vote for the people that they like. So the actions that you are sharing, you're hoping that it aligns with their favor. So they in turn like you. So you have to care that people like you. And, but there's a different type of community in the candidate voter because there's a certain um, entitlement, it feels like, that's attached to it. But there's the other aspect of it where I don't think it's entitlement. I just think it's people are passionate. People are holding you accountable for the things that you ran on, for the things that you said. And if you made mistakes, people are calling you out for those mistakes. I believe when it goes over the top is when it's highlighted in a way where it's meant to destroy, where it's meant to dehumanize you and your family, when it's meant to maliciously seek to destroy, your efforts and the things that you're doing. Because I seen firsthand that people will 100% will say that I believe in your platform. Like your platform, it aligns with me. You're my brother. But then at a slight shift of negativity that comes about, um, and mistakes happen, you see a different type of temperament on how they handle you. I've always wanted to talk about the recall election and not making a ballot. I believe at the time it was myself and also Larry Elder. His was, I don't know if it was like a clerical issue or administrative issue. Mine was a bit of in-house administrative, and also a learning lesson for me to be that much more aware. I was one of the most busiest candidates. I was one of the most popular candidates. And I know the average voter and the average person can't fathom that you forgot about a certain day. But the reality of it is, when it comes to business, and I've done plenty of business, when it comes to business, when it comes to paying my taxes, I pay people to do those things. I have executive assistants, I have office administrators to execute those things while I'm doing other things. That's the format that works best for me. It doesn't matter if that's not what you would have done. I get it. I hear you. In hindsight, after the fact, anyone could say anything in regards to what they would have done if it would have been the thing that made it right. But because the thing that I did didn't make it right, and there was eternal things that going on that stopped me from actually running. People don't know that I had accounts that were stricken from me, that were actually locked me out of it. We have every single text message, we have every single email. So I had a decision to make. Do I want to waste time spending time um, through the back and forth, the legalness, getting online, attacking people and just laying out all this information to so-called prove myself? Like, guys, listen, I paid a person to keep me up to par, to keep all my books, to keep all my filings up to par. A lot of money that I paid this person, and it's warranted if they would have done the job. But I was just really perplexed to see how people really jumped the gun on that. Because for me to be this monster, this grifter, this Uncle Tom, this top dancer, this bootlicker, none of those things obviously were said to my face. Clearly it's a social media thing that people enjoy doing these days because it's trendy and it's cool, it's quick, it's a shortcut. Um, but there is always another side of the story, and I just thought it was perplexing that people wouldn't give me the opportunity to cipher through that, or more so question what they were receiving because they've had interactions with me and they know me a little bit more personally. Because I did have a very personal touch with how I campaigned. I was, in people's homes. I was on your front porch, on your front lawn, barbecues in the backyard, meeting you at the park, meeting you at the local Starbucks, meeting you at the gas stations, and just going to random restaurants and having lines wrapped around the whole block and standing there for 4 hours on my feet without a break, without going to the restroom, taking pictures, talking to people, hearing great stories, high fives, hugs, shedding tears, hearing dramatic stories, hearing victorious stories as well. Like it was an amazing experience, and it was just so disheartening how it all kind of was built up and then torn down to a certain degree. But I continue to believe that everything happens for a reason. And I'm so appreciative for that opportunity. I'm appreciative for the people who showed their true colors. I'm appreciative for the people who chose to step away from me and chose to do everything else to show me their true colors. But it also just gave me a thicker armor, more keen awareness. It made me more vigilant. It made me stronger, more powerful. It made me wiser. And so, in hindsight, I welcomed it, and after the fact, I'm gonna still own the narrative. I'm gonna still own the story. I'm gonna still make multiple millions of dollars because the story of it in itself. And so to be able to create these characters that are real characters and create a storyline with someone like 50 Cent, reaching out to him, getting this story over to him and getting him and his team interested in something like the Major Mentry and some of the other things that we are working on here in our office, it's going to be monumental. And for the ones who want it to be popular, they're going to get the attention possibly that I guess they wanted. But you know what? It's not a revenge thing. It's a moving on thing. It's a calculated move because I understood early on, not naturally, but for the people that were around me, they were just like, man, you need to pick a fight with this person, or you need to get muddy, or you need to have a little controversy. And I just was never about that. And it's something that happened. It was forced. So I really didn't have much for anybody, but it was something that was curated, and then it was narrated in such a way, but people didn't really catch on to the narration. It was all subjective. It's basically an opinionated viewpoint of one person's point of view, versus when you talk about receipts, I also have the receipts as well. And there are a lot of them that were missing. And the stories that I can tell and the stories that I'm going to tell eventually are going to possibly make what's already kind of happening, where people are coming back around and people are seeing through the lies and seeing, like, if it was this, well, this naturally should happen. Or if it was this, then if that person did this, then, well, this should happen. This person shouldn't be here. This should happen to this person. And I was just looking back at people just jumping ship, and it's a part of it though. Like, it's okay. We were laughing that I had over 182,000, close to 189,000 followers at one point. It's probably like 15, 16 months ago. And the fact that I've lost nearly, 90,000 of those followers during that time because of a very deliberate, campaign. And that can easily happen because we all follow the same type of individuals and people. And if a person has a little bit more leverage with political influence than you, then people will have a tendency to kind of go with their word because they look to them for their news outlet, and they kind of trust some of the things they've said because they have agreed with things that they've said in the past. And so it's more so traditional to be consistent with believing what they say now. Oh, this person is this. Oh yeah, this person is this. Forget them, right? So I've seen a lot of that happen back and forth. And what it made me realize is that I didn't have a true foundational crew, a tribe, or a community. I've been in California close to 25 years. I don't have a lot of close associates beyond a very core group that are very vigilant and crazy about me when I appreciate them. But I don't have a huge community in the Black community. I don't have a huge community in any of the communities. I've been existing to survive and also give back in my own way. So even through my nonprofit and my philanthropic work, I just want to give away sneakers and make kids happy, and also have engaging conversations with them about what is it that they want to do. So in turn, either myself or someone in my network can be an ally and resource to help them get across that bridge of success that they're aiming for. That was basically it. Make a lot of money, become impactful and influential, foster my family, and showcase what it looks like to have a Black conservative Black man with a Black wife, Black beautiful kids that care about their community, that show that I'm successful and I'm not afraid of the Black community, but I'm also about people at the end of the day. One thing I always stress to people is that you get people that say, I don't see color. Well, that's great for you, but don't try to project that on me. I see color. And the thing about that is that I don't care if you don't see color. I'm not here to judge you if you are a fair person. There's no reason to even have a conversation about what you see if you are a fair and decent person. Now, but if it is a conversation about color, I see color. I see black and it's beautiful. I love it. I love being black. I love the black culture. I love our potential. I love where we came from. I love our resilience. I love our ever growing and ever evolving story. And I'm so excited to learn so much more about the beautiful black culture so I can be a educational guide for my young sons as well, because there's so much history that has been stripped away from us. We don't know all of our inventors by heart. We don't know all of our wealthy individuals. We don't know our true lineage, our true legacy. We're not backed by any strong community that understands the value of economy, I'm sorry, of economics and ownership and the power of, working together and keeping our dollars in our ecosystem and recreating some of those masterful places like the Black Wall Street, and there's many other Black Wall Streets that they don't even talk about. And to be a 46-year-old, going on 46-year-old grown man and not even know some these success stories, it's baffling. But I want to be able to educate myself in a way to where I could talk about these things at a high level and speak about it in a way where it ignites not just the black community but just people. Like, these are great stories that are going untold, and I want to be a vehicle and a vessel of someone who shares those stories to empower and push people to be the best versions of themselves. But every day I wake up, I see a text message, I get a phone call, or I see multiple DMs or emails, and people want to know if I'm going to run again. And I'm kind of flattered by that, because for some reason, there's a certain small little group that would try to confuse people about my impact. And the reason why my impact is real is because people got a chance to see a real human being actually campaign. I actually campaigned. I actually used money to campaign and travel and sit with people and meet with people and have conversations with people. But more importantly, I think a lot of people appreciated me more than anything is because I came and I listened. Sometimes people just want to be heard, or they want to share their ideals, because oftentimes when the people are having certain issues in their community, in their said industry, they're smart enough to know how to maneuver, adapt, evolve, grow, and figure it out and fix it for themselves. But they need to give that fix to someone to take it to the next level so it can get funded, so it can get cleared, so taxes can be decreased, so regulations can be decreased or even eliminated. And that was a beautiful part of it as well. And I think a lot of people appreciated the fact that I would just come sometimes and just listen. And I would just, and then they would see me go on and add their suggestions and their ideas to my platform, because it's great ideas. It actually helps me expedite the value that I could add as someone in a leadership position representing them and their causes and their communities. And so at the end of the day, I don't know if I will do it again. My goal is to get extremely wealthy. My goal is to get extremely educated so I can be the authority and use my voice, my experience, my wisdom, my relationships and resources to empower the next generation. It starts within my home by homeschooling my kids, putting a lot of energy and effort into those boys, and working with different partners and groups that I've been able to foster great relationships with, and just really find my niche being a public speaker, someone who's working with other political candidates when it comes to uh, honing and fine tuning their message for their platform in order for them to either run or to just enhance the skill sets they already have. And doing that, I have so much fun. My son is about to be 14 years old. He has a great clothing brand, Toji. The only superstar is Jesus. So when you come home and you see this bright-eyed kid with all these great all this enthusiasm and these great ideals. And he was like, man, the brand is the only superstar is Jesus, having um, a whole theme behind the releases and the launch. And we were working on those things together. And me and my wife were masterminding together. We're getting our bodies in sync and we're working out at yoga and we're connecting, talking, laughing, being goofy and funny. Then boom, you think I just want to go right back and just be candidate and ridiculed. It's not attractive as it was in the beginning. And that's the thing about it. And that's what people will have to live with and realize when you lose the opportunity. Or maybe I lost the opportunity, but there is a certain disdain that's there because I gave it my all. And I did it because I didn't see a proper representation when it came to relatable leadership. In the Republican Party, we run and support the same types of individuals and characters every single time. I could show you a newspaper clipping and to show you all the candidates, and you'll see me. Of course, I'm going to stand out. Now, it's not about a color thing, it's about me standing out when we show up to those conventions and I'm on that stage. And you can tell the difference between when I'm speaking in layman's term, sharing a great story, talking about the issues, how we're going to fix the issues, but also being real with them and saying, hey, listen, during my first term, I probably am going to only get 10 to 15% of what I'm saying done. And from speaking to voters and people like that, you can gain a lot of respect because it's a lot of hoopla, it's a lot of circus acts, it's a lot of pandering, it's a lot of gaslighting, it's a lot of I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Well, these are the things that I want to do, but realistically, because things have to be voted on, these are some things that I'm sure that I can get done for you. Overall, it's going to be a good 15, hopefully 20%, but 15% is going to get done in that first term. Can you live with that? Or will you try your luck with someone that says they're going to get everything done for you when they get in office and everything is going to be great? No, it's not going to be great. California is dealing with homelessness like never before, especially with everyone migrating from the border. California is dealing with crime that's increasingly out of control, and it's going to continue to do that because of the mindset and the laws do not match each other. There's no respect for authority. There's no respect for the laws, and the system is actually broken. And so when you look at that, when you look at housing, when you look at jobs, when you look at the border and everything else, and then you look at the leadership, there's an aha moment. You get it, you understand it, but what are you prepared to do about it? California voted for Governor Gavin Newsom once more, but yet they are the most frustrated Californians ever right now to this day. And so they have another choice. They're talking about recalling him again. Good luck and God bless him on that. I would look forward to supporting a great candidate. But the answer is I don't know if I would run for office again. I just want to get super, super in a place where I can be the most effective. Using my nonprofit, I can be effective. I don't have to wait on a vote. I don't have to be beholden to a donor. I don't have to be beholden to anyone to help other people by giving them a resource, raising money to buy shoes, to give them away, to create experiences, the confidence camp, talk about God, talk about wellness, fitness, eating well, travel, and just exploring greater conversations that's going to produce greater real life action so people can become their better selves. That's power. That's proper representation that I can control, that I can build, that I can curate, that I can rinse and repeat and do over and over again and add value to people's lives. And that's what it's really about. So I can't say if I run for governor again right now. I'm in a great space, but who knows? I love this state, but we'll see.